Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios, Kokomlemle in Accra. Our digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across the country, including Pad FM in Dalmongo, Jubilee FM in Keta, and Sunshine FM in Boko. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, Let's Go, and SuperSem. Build your dream. In this edition, movement of arms real as Ghana Immigration Service admits difficulty in managing the country's border, citing threat of terrorism, among others, as major challenges facing the country.
There will be special cameras to pick up drivers who habitually jump red lights at intersections, and this is a clear admonition, if not a warning.
We have more as we continue our series on porous borders. Also, abuse road regulation and pay as new traffic cameras are installed on major routes in Accra to check offenders.
There will be special cameras to pick up drivers who habitually jump red lights at intersections, and this is a clear admonition, if not a warning.
We're sorry about that mix-up there, but government has meanwhile adopted ways to deal with increased congestion on the roads as new DVLA statistics reveal 15% vehicular growth in the last 3 years. 2018 Public Expenditure and Financial Accountability Report reveals reduction in payroll fraud. And later in the bulletin,
and
the controversy about who the best rapper in Ghana is continues. We'll tell you more as industry players analyze DJ Black's top 50 list.
Game is undoubtedly the best rapper in my opinion.
If you want to compare people, compare everybody in their prime.
If they want Jay-Z, they already have Jay-Z. They already want somebody who's a replica of Jay-Z.
We'll also hear from Tiny Aleche Kankwe, who is contesting his number 21 spot on the list. We have all that and more coming up here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. And the Ghana Immigration Service has identified threat of terrorism as major challenge facing the country's borders, with only 45 border posts controlling a land area of 2,400 kilometers. The service says it is simply impossible to control movement of people crossing into the country. We'll have more of that shortly, but as part of Joy News' Porous Border series, Volta Region correspondent Fred Kwame Asare throws the spotlight on Gakli, a border community in the Ketu South municipality, where the growing number of human settlements along the borders with its neighbors Togo is fueling cross-border crime.
It's business as usual at Pillar 11, one of the numerous unapproved routes to and from Ghana to neighboring Togo. Though there are border security officials here, the checks are not as rigorous as you would see on the approved routes. A border officer told me because community members interrelate, work and live in both countries, it is difficult restricting people from crossing. There are several of such unapproved routes leading to Gakli and adjoining communities in the area, as only imaginary lines separate the two countries.
There are different tribes here in Gakli. We have the Frafres, the Hausas, the Grusis, the Arabs, and many other tribes from West Africa.
The shops here are mostly stocked with francophone or foreign products brought into the country through the unapproved routes. In Gakli, almost everything is priced in the West African CFA franc, including lands, making the Togolese currency dominant here. The unit's committee chairman, Koshivi Bakba, believes citing an official border post in the area would enhance security and lessen cross-border crimes.
Former
President Mahama and President of Togo, Faure Gnassingbé, promised to establish a border post here during their visit to the area. We are appealing to government to consider doing that. The Ketu South Municipal Chief Executive Elliot Edem Agbenowu lamented human settlements along the border were undermining the country's security. He indicated various measures are being taken to streamline activities in Gakli in line with the country's laws.
In fact, we have more than 28 unapproved routes in the municipality, but immigration has been helping. However, what we earmarked to do, for which we've already started and about 60% has been completed, is to construct a road from the main border, joining the no man's land, to link with the Segbe, the unapproved routes.
Until stringent measures are put in place at these unapproved routes leading to the country, Ghana will continue to lose revenue due to smuggling through these routes. Fred Kwame Asari's report for Joy News.
Well, there's a bigger issue as the Immigration Service says there is high possibility of arms smuggling into the country. Deputy Controller General of the service, Lord Ofori-Afrifa, tells my colleague Roland Walker the wide nature of the land area makes it impossible to strictly enforce border control.
Yes.
So came to his
there
cousin.
was a chieftaincy clash across the Burkina Faso. So in seeking refuge with his people, they come across the border to Chile. The chief there, they are cousins.
In the traditional line of
In the traditional line, and they interact every day. So naturally, they just move with his people and they are settled there now, asylum seekers.
So he's with his cousins.
He's with
in
his
the family line or the traditional line.
The family line.
But then he's in Ghana.
I see in Ghana. So walk across 100 meters and he's back home.
Did you process him, for example, for papers?
Of course. No. The borders are such that at times people moving without you see, like you rightly said, the savannah areas. You visited the Boku stretch. You saw the mountains. You saw that in the dry season, you can see meters or kilometers away. So you can be here, the border agents can be here, but they can see somebody crossing on a motorbike. How do you react? How do you chase? So these are the real situations. The border itself is a challenge. Because arms are being trafficked all through the sub-region. Where is it coming from? Where are they going? And if you look at our northern conflicts, look at the arms that they wield. AK-47, sophisticated arms. Not our local traditional prepared arms like they have in Alabama. So that is the real situation.
Now, whilst calling for a national strategy on border control, Mr. Ofori-Afrifa says the short-term measure is to deal with threat of terrorism.
So currently, Ghana, in the short term, our border security strategy is driven by the threat of terrorism, especially from the sub-region, and most specifically from our northern border, Burkina Faso. You've been following the news. You certainly see that Burkina Faso is about 2/3 of the country. Now it's virtually ungovernable, and it sits directly on our. One of the last attacks that happened, it only happened about 10 kilometers from one of our border posts, Kulungu. So it means that anything at all could happen. They could transport. You look at it in the context of the issues of terrorism. How are they operating in the sub-region? You see that they are expanding. Right from Nigeria, Boko Haram, coming into Niger, Mali, the tip of Mauritania, coming down Burkina Faso. It means that they are extending. And for terrorists, you can never tell.
You heard that the Deputy Controller General of the Ghana Immigration Service, Lord Ofori-Afrifa, there speaking on the AM show with Roland Walker this morning. Now, does this revelation from the Immigration Service makes you safe? Let's explore this issue further as part of our Porous Border series. We have security analyst Mr. Adams Bona. We're grateful for your time here on the Midday News. Are you as surprised as I am by the revelations made by the Deputy Controller General? Amongst others, it appears we don't have a national strategy in dealing with the porous nature of our borders.
Yes, good afternoon to your listeners. No, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, rightly so, because some of us, I have done, a lot of research into these areas. I have visited some of these communities, or some of these unapproved routes, some of the approved ones, and you realize even when you go to most of these approved ones, apart from the Aflao one. Yes, where apart from that, most of our borders, land borders are just porous. You go to Hamile, visit them, and you realize that it is just, people just go through. There is no proper screening. And so you don't have to be surprised when we don't have enough resources, either human or material, for protection of our land borders or our territorial, jurisdiction. And so as far as I'm concerned, I am not one bit surprised. If you look at how many immigration officers do we have, they are woefully inadequate. I think they're just about 6,000, 7,000 immigration officers, including the controller. They need off-road quad bikes. They don't have them. You have nomadic herdsmen who are crossing into the country as at when they like, and they carry with them arms and ammunition. They carry with them all sorts of offensive weapons. And no one is checking, even advocacy in terms of our training. Because usually for countries in other places, in other countries like Eastern Europe and other places, what they do is that those who live around these border areas are properly schooled. So you see people crossing from neighboring country into this country. What they do is to quickly relay the information to the sector agency to come in and do screening. But over here, nobody is checking anything. And they come in as at when they want. And I think you spoke to the immigration official who did say
exactly.
Burkina Faso is becoming a banana republic.
And amongst others, he states that the threat of terrorism is real. In the immediate, what can we do?
Well, immediately what we need to do is to summon all the resources we can put together. I know that the current administration is procuring some counter-terrorism surveillance equipment to protect the borders, to make sure they beef up security, they build enough security posts for the immigration officials. But as to when this is going to kickstart, because I know it's been done under the ticket of emergency, but sometimes ticket of emergency projects sometimes don't happen, as they call it, emergency. And so for me, we need to put in enough measures and train the people. It is easy for the country to put in resources to train those who are living around the border, around the, our part of the country and that part of Burkina Faso or the other neighboring country. Once we train them, then they become our first line of defense. They will be able to give information. But as we speak, that is not being done. And so we are still where we are, and the terrorists, if they want to hit us, they will.
We are grateful for your time, but we hope that does not happen anytime soon. Never, actually. And that's the security analyst, Adams Bona. And that's part of our Porous Border series. We continue to look at the porous nature of our borders, hoping to get some solutions to solving the situation. Now, away from that, the abuse of road regulation will attract sanctions as the Urban Transport Management Project installs special cameras to check such activities. Managers of the project say the camera will identify corporate to enable the Motor Traffic Transport Department of the Police put such individuals before court for action. Roads and Highways Transport Minister Kwesi Amwako Atta disclosed this at a meeting with Drivers Union to sensitize them on the new directives.
There will also be special cameras to pick up drivers who habitually jump red lights at intersections. And this is a clear admonition, if not a warning, to all those who are of the habit of driving through traffic lights when they are red. From now onwards, as soon as you do that, you will be noticed from a central monitoring center, and you will immediately be picked wherever you are. The revenue that will be generated from fines imposed on such offenders shall be used for the operation and maintenance of this system. It is my prayer that we don't realize any revenue from that kind of behavior. The revenue is not our target, and I hope that we will not be given the opportunity to realize any such revenue.
You heard that the Roads and Highways Minister, Kwesi Amwako Atta. So I'm sure you're wondering how this new directive would take effect and how it will be implemented. We've been joined on the phone by the Director in charge of Education, Research and Training at the Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, of the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Alex Obeng. We're grateful for your time here on the Midday News. So walk us through the implementation process of this new directive.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I think it's a step that the state has been waiting for, and we hope that in the end, all the systems will work together, being a pilot, so that we're able to electronically detect the offenders through the vehicle registration numbers and trace the owner or the motorist for the person to be forthcoming electronically. So it is something that stakeholders are working on.
Okay, so when is this directive taking effect?
Oh, soon. I think very soon the enforcement aspect regarding the police issuance of notices under the LI will also be communicated. But not know that the corridor project is a pilot.
Okay.
And very soon it will also be replicated all over.
But have drivers been educated enough? Because you know that when drivers are arrested or picked up as a result of these enforcements, they say that they didn't know about it, they've not been educated on it. Have we taken time to do that?
I think that's what I'm saying, that as part of this project, there is an implementation phase in terms of sensitization, which will also soon commence. And it is going through this testing. So let's all encourage the system so that, and I know that there is a sensitization plan of this project, and all stakeholders are on board. And I know that the transport operators, vehicle owners, and commuters will not be left out.
Well, we are grateful for your time. Now, there's Director in charge of Education, Research and Training at the Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, of the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Alex Obeng there. Now, the 2018 Public Expenditure and Financial Accountability Report has shown a reduction in payroll fraud. According to the report, government's allocation of resources and fiscal discipline ensured proper streamlining of the payroll systems, cutting out waste. Now, this was made known at the presentation of the 2018 Public Expenditure and Financial Accountability Report by the Public Financial Management Reform Project in Accra. Dr. Mohammed Sani Abdullahi is the project's director.
As a nation, we have come very far, and other nations are coming to see how we have done our PFM. And let me equally seize this opportunity. Why has there been such remarkable performance? There have been remarkable performance because you all know giftness. Now, that is used in controlling the way your monies are managed. Okay, and when we say giftness, it has 4 systems. One of the systems we use in preparing the budget, which you call Hyperion. One of the systems we use in executing the budget, which we call the financials. And another system we use in managing the human resource, which is called Human Resource Management Information System. And another one we use in paying people, payroll. Now, do you hear problems with payroll? No. Okay, we can speak about ghost names, but where are they? Because the payroll is not very rigorous. So that is basically some of the achievements that we have had.
Now, speaking on behalf of the Finance Minister, Director General of the National Development Planning Commission, Dr. Grace Ifuabidiako, noted that the PEFA report provides a good assessment of the country's financial management.
We're keenly aware that in the Ministry of Finance's quest to contribute to the President's aim of Ghana Beyond Aid, and that has been mentioned earlier, priority has been placed on achieving the targets set out in the PFM reform strategy. To this end, there are a number of ongoing initiatives that the ministry is undertaking, and I would mention a few. The operationalization of the PFM Act 2016, Act 921. There's a lot of publicity on it, and there's no meeting that we do not hear about the act and what it seeks to achieve. So it's been publicized quite well. And then we heard that the regulation related to the Act has recently been passed in April.
You heard that Dr. Grace Efuabidiako, Director General of the National Development Planning Commission. Now, independent power producer Power is shutting down its 470 megawatts of power in preparation for the relocation of its power shift to the western region. There's more in a statement that they've released a while ago. My colleague Elton Brobe joins me with details of that. What does it say?
So what they're saying that they will be off the grid. That's tomorrow, Tuesday, August 13th, 2019. Now, the power ship will depart from Tema Fishing Harbour on Thursday, 15th August 2019, and will berth at a new location within the 2nd Naval Base on Friday, 16th August. In light of the relocation, the power ship will be off the national grid for a maximum period of 17 days to enable them carry out various pre-commission works to successfully connect to the 330 kV transmission line in 2nd. The relocation, according to them, is in line with government strategic policy for the power ship to utilize natural gas from the Western Enclave. This will billions of dollars annually. Car Power Ship will keep its stakeholders informed on further updates about this project, which is ongoing.
So 470 megawatts of power. Do we know if it will affect power supply?
They are saying that 17 days period. We just have to find out what the Energy Ministry is doing to contain the shortfall that we are likely to experience starting tomorrow.
We'll check on that. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a quick break, but when we return...
99 and I'm a Temuka. Satam the Krana Numbe, occupy Muka. Ebiasi, Obisa for Niraquine, and as you will fear, you miss on your intent.
And the controversy about who the best rapper in Ghana is continues. We'll tell you more as industry players analyze DJ Black's top 50 list.
Obrafour, his longevity in the game, is undoubtedly the best rapper, in my opinion.
If you want to compare people, compare everybody in their prime.
If they want Jay-Z, they already have Jay-Z. They only want somebody who's a replica of Jay-Z.
We'll also hear from Tiny, who is contesting his number 21 sport on the list. We're right back after the break.
Let's go, My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Now, she got pregnant on the streets of Accra and abandoned by family and friends to her fate. That's the story of Rebecca, who is suffering from mental illness. Her story exposes the gap in the mental health care delivery system in Ghana, despite passing the Mental Health Act in 2012. Here are excerpts of our latest hotline documentary, Minds to Minds, by Nancy Emefa Jadosi.
Inside the Pantine Hospital are stories of people who have had different experiences in life, some of which have cost them the sanity of their thoughts. Rebecca was brought here by neighbors and some officials of the Adenta Municipal Assembly after she was found in labor somewhere on the streets of Adenta. Rebecca appears confused, but she realizes that she has a child now.
I was in pain when I was in labor, but I could have lived at home and even taken care of everything.
She may be lost in her thoughts, but she knows where she is and she hates being here.
Living here is very unbearable. If I was allowed to rather live at home and be coming in for treatment, I would have been very happy. But the gate is locked now. I feel very uncomfortable.
Rebecca's aunt, who we choose to call Esi, says her family is not financially capable of taking care of the baby.
We were told to come for the baby, but at this point, my daughter has also delivered, and I need to take care of my grandchild. I decided that the baby be taken to an orphanage.
When you look at the law, mental health service is meant to be free. All these talk about Ghana being a very hospitable and all those things, it's a sham. If we are that responsible, hospitable, then we'll be taking care of these things. We won't wait for foreigners to come and then receive them nicely when our kids and kin are roaming the streets naked.
That's the report put together by Nancy Emefa Dradosi. The full report airs tonight on the Joy News channel on Multi TV at 6:30 p.m. Also, you can check out all our social media platforms for that hotline documentary. And some Ghanaians have criticized plans to rename the University of Energy and Natural Resources after Ghana's Second Republic Prime Minister, Dr. Abrifa Buzia. President Akufo-Addo over the weekend disclosed the decision by the governing council of the university when he attended the graduation ceremony there. Now, social media is awash with sarcastic comments by ordinary Ghanaians, some suggesting many more schools will be renamed. Vice President of Imani Africa and Ghanaian lawyer Kweku Asare, popularly known as Kweku Asa, has joined in the commentary whilst the minority in Parliament have condemned the move. Here's a News Desk report.
The University of Energy and Natural Resources is the third to be named after individuals known to belong to the UP Nomo tradition from which the governing NPP was born. The University of Development Studies WA campus has been renamed after the NPP's founding member SD Domo. A bill to rename the Navrongo campus after the late C.K. Tedam, who was the chairman of the Council of Elders of the party, is currently before Parliament. The University of Mines and Technology has been renamed after a founder and first president of the United Gold Coast Convention Party, Pargrant. And now President Akufo-Addo says he's happy about the renaming of the University of Energy and Natural Resources.
The decision is an excellent one, so that once the parliamentary process has been completed, this university will thereafter be called the K.A. Buzia University of Energy and Natural Resources, Sunyani. It is wholly fitting that this great man, who viewed freedom as a great ally of progress, should be properly honored by a grateful posterity.
Ghanaian lawyer based in the UK, Professor Kweku Asare, is calling for a policy on which institutions in Ghana can be renamed, but says universities should not be included. He says the country is becoming more and more divided over nothing and there is the need for consensus. President of Imani Africa, Franklin Kojo, described the move as a one-sided political decision, saying although Dr. Buzia is a fine academic, the connection between him and the University of Energy and Natural Resources is rather a long shot. Minority spokesperson on education, Peter Nochu, says they will resist the plan when it comes to Parliament for approval.
If you look at the names being assigned to the universities, are coming from one political family, and that is not a unifying approach to nationalism.
And that's the talk about the renaming that's going on. Now listen to this.
Here we go, y'all. Get out. I thought the beer drinking this. I thought the beer swine. Jimmy, we are with the shit.
Sorry, waho. Hana ubeda, baby fa, mama mudi, so my fire.
All right. And the controversy about who the best rapper in Ghana is continues. One of Ghana's most celebrated DJs and host of Open House Party here on Joy, DJ Black, released a list of top 50 rappers in Ghana that saw Obrafo on top and D Black at the bottom of the list. Now, the list was released on Thursday and has generated a lot of controversy on social media. It's been greeted with a lot of mixed feelings, some suggesting that some names ought not to be there. Well, industry players analyzed the list on the Super Morning Show with Daniel Danzi. Let's first take a listen to the author of the controversial top 50 best rapper list, DJ Black, who's been defending it.
Obrafo, first album Paimuka, his longevity in the game, his ability to weave words in such a way that both the elderly and the kids appreciate, and still be able to keep such a clean flow for all these while. I've never heard of Ralph curse in a rhyme, never say a swear word. And he still has the respect of every hip life and hip hop MC. I mean, he's undoubtedly the best rapper in my opinion. Sarkodie coming in number 2. Sarkodie has always and will always be an MC who gains the respect of everybody. As a DJ, sometimes if an MC raps in front of me or is trying to freestyle, I try and trick them, try and make the beat fast, switch the beat, try and confuse them. But his ability to stay on flow, if no matter how you trick him, and try and grab your attention for, a number of minutes, makes him one of also the greatest rappers we have in Ghana.
Now, Hammer on the last two fame, who has produced most of the rappers on that list, insists that the comparison of different eras is not in order. Also, Sammy Forcing, who is unashamedly biased towards Ghana's number 2 rapper, Sarkodie, says time has come for originality to be prioritized by artists.
The comparison should be done carefully. If you want to compare people, compare everybody in their prime. Internet changed everything. The numbers changed. People are streaming now. We're selling good CDs. So you can't really compare the different times. Times are different. And so we have 3 pillars in hip life since it started. The founder, who's Reggie Rockstone, and Obrafour, who taught us how it is done, and Sarkodie, who took us to the world.
We need to conquer the world, and we need not lose our identity as well. If they want Jay-Z, they already have Jay-Z. They already want somebody who's a replica of Jay-Z. They want you to be original and all that. We need to see how best we can package our talent and sell it to the world, because we have something of value. And being the year of return, we need to package ourselves in such a way that people would want to go away with something that would remain in their minds forever, that, this is a great sound from Africa and from Ghana, to be precise.
Now we can hear from Tiny, who is contesting his number 21 spot on that list.
I don't think so.
Where should you have been?
I've not checked the list, but to rate myself number 21 in Ghana, no, I don't think so.
So if you were to place yourself, where would you say you are of all time? Top 5, top 10?
I'll just be in first 10.
Top 10?
Yes.
Who will be there with you?
Kwade will be there with me. Rafa will be there with me. Sarkodie will be there with me. Lord Kenya will be there with me. Pono will be there with me. Ochami Kwame will be there with me. Nake, JD will be there with me. Adogo will be there with me. One more.
Should I help you?
More.
Should I help you?
Help. Yes, please.
Kwakese, Tic Tac, Reggie Rockstone. You have to pick one.
Thank you very much. Reggie Rockstone will be there with me. Who is number 50?
D Black.
Are you serious? D Black. You're here, D Black. Me. Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, Vera. It be me when you do me like that. So like that. It be me when you do me like that.
And that's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. Do enjoy your holidays. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am MFA Pao.